The first draft of any art piece is absolutely brimming with fucking energy, with spontaneity, with character, with feeling, with atmosphere, with spiritual energy. Today, I am thinking about the song Wichita Lineman and the album Nebraska and how they prove the power of the first draft. I was scrolling down through YouTube on Saturday night and having a lovely little relaxing evening, and I came across a video. And it was called something like the most powerful unfinished song ever. And the song was Wichita Lineman. Now, I didn't know this was unfinished, so it intrigued me, as YouTube should. Went on to the video, looked at it. Brilliant, right? I believe the writer of the song is called Jimmy Webb. So he was contacted by Glenn Campbell, who was a huge country western singer at the time. Glenn Campbell rings him up, is like, Jimmy, can you write me a song about a place? And then, of course, Jimmy has written like hundreds and hundreds of famous songs. And he was kind of like, I'm always writing fucking country songs about places. I'm not really too interested in it. So then the phone call ended. Jimmy then decided I'll go down now and bang about on the piano for an hour or two, right? So like 2 hours later, he sends Glenn Campbell a song. And the song wasn't finished. It was 2 verses. But it was Wichita Lineman. Now, if you don't know Wichita Lineman and you're not familiar with the song, I advise you to go listen to it. It's absolutely fantastic. But it is renowned by songwriters and singers and singer-songwriters and musicians all over the world to being one of the greatest songs ever written. Now, Jimmy finished this and he sent it to Glenn Campbell and he said, here, look, this is what I've done. If you kind of like the vibe of what it is, let me know and I'm going to go write the rest of the song and I'll send it on to you. Glenn Campbell got the song, obviously didn't even listen to what Jimmy was saying, took it and went into the studio, recorded Wichita Lineman. Right? Only had 2 verses instead of another verse. I think they just added in a guitar solo and then did the chorus again. Boom. Now it's one of the greatest songs of all time. A couple of weeks later, Jimmy met Glenn Campbell somewhere. Said, I suppose you didn't really like that song anyway I sent you. Glenn Campbell said, what do you mean, man? We went in and recorded it straight away. It's already recorded. And then Jimmy was kind of like, what the fuck? I need to finish it. It's probably shit, right? Because any artist would think, oh, the song is shit now because they're after recording some half-hour song. They just kind of banged it out. The album Nebraska is a real stripped-down Bruce Springsteen album. It's a country album. When I first started getting into Bruce Springsteen, I really liked this, right? Because I was familiar with all his really like popular stuff. He before this album, he'd done the big hits. Like he'd done the big albums, the Born USA and that. Now, he might not have done that. Could be chronologically all over the place here. But he'd done big albums, right? And he was known as a big studio stadium kind of fucking musician. And he decided he wanted to do something a bit more stripped back. But at the time, it was very hard to do that. Like right now you could do that. You could get your phone and you could record into your phone. Right? Back then you couldn't really do that. So he went to the studio and he asked one of the technicians or the producers, here, give me a loan of this 4-track recorder. So he got a loan of it. He went up to the woods in some log cabin that he had. And basically made the album. All the songs done. Just him and guitar. And he loved it. Right? He loved it so much that he had the tape. He got the tape and said to the band, right, we need to recreate this in the studio. So he got the tape and he was listening to it and showing them that. And he's in the studio. I think he went into the studio for like a year. He's in the studio for about a year. It can't recreate it, right? It just doesn't sound like it at all. It's just not happening. And then someone says to him, why don't you release the tape? And at that time, it's like, no, you can't do that. You have to go into the studio. You can't release this tape, this fucking piece of shit tape. You can't release this. But whoever said that to him, that is actually what he did do. After all that time, he went and he was seemingly carrying this tape around in his fucking little denim jacket pocket for like a year. And then that is basically the album that we know today to be Nebraska. Now, why do I love this? Because about 2 weeks ago, we were making a film, and me, Connor English, Ryan High, we were talking about this. And we were talking about the power of the first draft. The first draft of any art piece is absolutely brimming with fucking energy, with spontaneity, with character, with feeling, with atmosphere, with spiritual energy. Okay? It's got everything. The first draft for me has everything in it. And the more we work on it, the more we cut it down, the more we fucking start editing it, it loses it. It loses all that stuff. There's a lot to be said for the energy of the first draft. Like Glenn Campbell's one. If they didn't go in and record Wichita Lineman, it might not be one of the best songs ever written now. Because they might got rid of that spark, rid of that beauty, that the energy and the just the pureness of the first draft. They could have got rid of that. Same with Nebraska. Everyone was saying to him, you can't do that. You can't put out the first draft. You didn't edit it enough. You didn't meticulously work on it. You didn't perfect it. Because in art, we're always talking about perfecting and editing and making sure every single thing means something. And at times that is needed. But at other times, the first draft and the energy of the first draft is enough to put out there in the world. Put it out there. Don't let your technical ability, your situation, it not being done in the proper programs, it not being done in the proper materials, it not being presented in the proper way to stop the first draft, to kill that fucking vibe that the first draft has. We're always talking about the pureness. We're always talking about authenticity. We're always talking about originality. What more than to allow yourself to just pour something out of your mind and let it be without scrutinizing it, analyzing it, see what it means. Let someone else figure it out. And that's the beauty of the first draft. I thought those two stories were absolutely fantastic. I can probably think of a few more, but they don't come to me right now. But one thing I do want to say is, if you are in this situation, be bold, be brave. Let the first draft out. And just do that. Experiment. See what the results are like. If it's shit, you can blame me. But if it's not, well, that's just a beautiful thing. Have a lovely, lovely day.